Hi guys, what's going on? This is John Fears, and I'm with Leslie Esterbrook.
Hi.
And we're at ConX 2012, and this is an honor and a pleasure. So nice to see you.
The pleasure's mine, and it's nice to see you too, John.
Nice to see you, and I got a couple of questions. Why do you come to these cons, and why do you like them?
I don't come for the money.
Okay.
And you have to charge, as everybody else does. So it would make everybody else feel better.
Okay.
I come because I started working in the opera and the theater. I did a lot of theater before I ever did film.
Okay.
And in the theater, one of the things you learn is that every audience is a character. You know, and every night the audience is different. And it changes the show a little bit. It's just because you have whatever the responses are, who's coughing, whatever, it just changes the whole nature of the show, although it's the same play every night. Blocking is the same. There's another character in the room. But when you're making a movie, the only other characters in the room other than the cast are the crew. And most of them have a job to do, so they're not really paying attention to what you're doing as an actor. So you don't have any kind of interaction with your audience. But after you've done a film, when I was first invited to come to a convention, I felt like all of a sudden I'd met all the other characters in my movies. People come and talk to me, they watch the movies, it's like, oh, there was a silent character.
There's that guy
that is watching this, and the audience makes a movie for the actor. When you meet your audience members, it changes the way you feel about the work that you did. And if people don't like it and they tell you about it, you can help do something better the next time. But when they do like it, you feel like you've communicated. But in film, you don't ever know who you're communicating with. You know, unless it's your friends.
Absolutely.
So you're meeting total strangers, and you're all talking about the same story. You've all had that same experience, and they'll talk about a scene that you've done or something that they like. And it's a whole different perspective when it comes from somebody who's just seen the film and didn't make the film. So I find that it's heartwarming.
Absolutely.
It makes me feel that in 40 years of doing this, it's really made an impact in one way or another on other people.
Okay.
So, and that's really the basics of why people make films, is to have the films, is to you know, their point of view, if you're the writer, if you're the director, they want to share. Well, so do the actors. And when you find out that you've shared successfully, it's a wonderful way to want to go to your next project. Makes you feel better about yourself and your work.
Question 2. Now, you are pretty famous for 7 legendary films, Police Academy. Now, if you had to pick a favorite moment as Callahan, what would be that moment? What is that signifying moment?
Well, you know, truthfully, it was the day I found out I got the part.
That's always a good moment.
Because I read the script, and I thought it was one of the funniest things I'd ever read. I said, this is so unusual. I don't know. I never thought whether it would be successful or not. It never really entered my mind. It's just that I thought some of the gags, the podium business with Commandant Massard, just completely destroyed me. And basically, for me, it was this.
Was this scene?
This particular scene.
One of my favorites.
I thought it was so outrageous, and I love the fact that she was so aggressive. You know, that it's like saying, why wait around all your life as a girl, right? Especially if you're a girl
because no one expects it.
Well, if you're a girl and you grow to be 5'8" in the 7th grade, and you're waiting for somebody to ask you out, and everybody is like here, and people are concerned about their heights, guys are. You know, I didn't have the nerve to just go ask them.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know what the reaction would have been, but he didn't do that, right?
Yeah.
And here's a woman who says,
I'm gonna go for it.
I want you. You know, I mean, just like,
just flat out.
Take charge. And I thought that was funny. I thought it was
one of my favorite scenes. Now, you said your favorite movie out of all of them was number 1, but if you had to pick a second one, what was your second favorite one? What was your favorite?
Oh, you're adorable. That's a good question. I think number 4.
Number 4?
Yeah, because David Spade was in it, and Sharon Stone.
That was before they became really big.
Well, they became big. The first one took off like wildfire.
Yeah.
And to make $180 million in just the U.S. was astounding, and that was before it became a complete
epidemic. Yeah.
It hit all over the world, and I've traveled all over the world doing PR for Police Academy. What an experience, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, the head sumo wrestler, the #1 for several years in Japan, when I was doing PR in Japan, he invited David Graff, who played Tackleberry and I, into the Bay for lunch and to watch them. And Steven Spielberg hadn't been able to get into the Bay where they train and they live.
Wow.
And that was the kind of impact it had, all around the world. But when the first one, we didn't know. We laughed ourselves silly on the set. We had fun every second of the day. We worked hard, but it was so fun to do. There was a screening. We were in Toronto. An old insane asylum was turned into the police academy. And so then it became a studio. This old, from the 1800s.
Okay.
This, for this set. We came back to LA and had a screening, and I took 2 friends with me, and people brought friends. And they screamed. They laughed so hard.
Dying of laughter.
And my 2 girlfriends are both each 50. Well, they're 15 years older than I am. They're well-established actresses at the time. And they came outside and they grabbed a hold of me, one on each side, and they were both saying, "This is going to be a humongous hit. This is going to be something that is going to put you in the annals of stupid history."
It was hilarious.
And that was when I thought, wow, we have something. What we found so funny shooting in Toronto, audiences also found funny.
I think for the fans, it's just the chemistry, the jokes, the laughter, the joy, and then when Harris is swearing at everybody, and then you're swearing back at him, and then just all the mad chaos. It's just one damn funny movie.
Well, it's what I liked about it in the script. The #1 thing I liked about it is that it took the police departments, all over the country, which we send to kind of put them a certain reverence, and you have there's a cop car, I'm going to drive safely. There's something about cops being not human, not really.
Yeah.
And the fact that these guys were so bumbling, I was afraid that police officers would
We're taking the wrong way.
Yeah. And the cops that helped us in Canada, of course, were giving us some information sometimes because they salute differently, they handle their firearms a little differently.
Yeah.
But they were having such a great time, the guys who were training us, and just being able to make fun of an establishment.
Absolutely.
And make cops human. Because everybody bumbles.
Everybody.
But you don't think of, and you don't want cops to bumble, and you don't want firefighters to bumble.
Yeah.
But they're human beings.
And you're going to make a mistake.
Yeah, and the fact that we were embraced by police officers throughout all the movies. In Washington, D.C., the cops there rented a theater. They did the midnight screening the night before it opened. They showed it for police officers, and they'd all bring in their beer.
Okay.
And they filled the theater. As long as they took all their empties out, they could do that. They would let them come in and they wouldn't charge them in this theater complex. So they would watch it. And I thought, and that was on number 6 or something, 5 or 6, that I found that out. And I thought, what a testimony to people. I'm telling you, there's 2 fears.
I do.
That people, the best quality somebody can have is the ability to laugh at themselves.
I laugh at myself every day, every minute.
That's why I like you.
I like you too.
And I do too. We all have foibles. And if you're not able to laugh at yourself, then... But that doesn't always hold true. There are a lot of people that take themselves so seriously.
Sometimes people are super serious.
Yeah. But the thing is, everybody has to have a good time. And today we're talking, and all these people are storming and protesting our embassies around the country. And I think of our soldiers who are there doing such an honorable, fabulous thing for us. And also keeping peace around them are in danger.
And that's what the ConX is all about. We're raising money for the wounded warriors.
Yes, we are. And it's wonderful.
Yes.
And if we realize that they are also human beings, it makes them, a little more approachable in our hearts, and that they're out there for us, and that they probably do blow off steam every once in a while.
Yep.
But boy, are they in harm's way.
And final question, if you had to pick, not just your character, if you had to pick a favorite character of yours out of the whole police academy, which one would you pick? What's your favorite character besides your own?
God, I love them all because they're all so different, and they all have their foibles, but it would have to be Common.
And why him?
George Gaines. Well, it's probably because I'm partial to him. I worked with him in the theater. We did a production of Wonderful Town at the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion in Los Angeles in the early 70s. And he was Manette February. It was an amazing company. And he was so funny and charming, and he has this operatic voice and whatnot. And he was so Lassard even then. So I knew him then. I read the script and I thought, oh, George Gaines is playing that part? Oh, Oh my! And he was more interesting and funnier than I'd even anticipated.
I believe he did a few episodes on MASH, correct? I think he did some on MASH.
George did?
Yeah, I believe so.
He might have. My husband wrote was a writer and producer the last 4 years of MASH. I remember him. Well, it must have been before Dan came, because I just introduced him to George. He's 95. I took him to Santa Barbara and we had lunch with George and his wife. And he hadn't met her, but he had actually produced a pilot that George's wife, Ellen Ann McCleary, starred.
Okay.
Which was really weird. She's 86 and George is 95,
And does he still work from time to time or retired?
He hasn't worked in probably 5 years. But the Punky Brewster, they would love to get George to do something like this.
That would be amazing.
And I would love to get him there. I just don't know how easy it's going to be.
Well, I appreciate this interview. It was a pleasure and an honor.
Oh, Fears, thank you. I'm so glad we did it.
Yes, and we're going to be here all weekend at ConX. So if you guys are not here, get here as fast as possible, guys.
Now, our camera operator, Michelle.
Michelle's been doing a fabulous job. It's been a long interview. Sorry about Michelle. I'm sure her arm is hurting, but
when we said it was live, she went.
Yes. Yes. Well, anyway, we're going to take off, but we'll see you guys later, and have a good one.
Hope to meet y'all.
Bye-bye.